Okay, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of low budget home lab by just running in a virtual machine. Turns out you can just spin up a Debian installer in a virtual machine, add Docker, and you're off to the races. So we're gonna do a little tiny itty bitty home lab with QEMU and Debian and Docker. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, I have Virtual Machine Manager here, and I already have a machine that's running in the background. It's doing something that's not important. Install Virtual Machine Manager. It's great. And grab yourself an ISO of not Ubuntu. Grab yourself the Debian net. Like I'm gonna do the net installer. So let's go forward, find our little Debian net installer ISO, Debian 13, forward. Now let's give this 4 CPUs and 4096, 4 gigs RAM. And for this demo, 20 gigabyte. Perfection. And this is going to be called server. Yeah, baby. The server. Just doing what servers do. All right, cool. So I'm gonna full screen this real quick. We're gonna do the terminal, not terminal, sorry, the less GUI installer. I don't know what to call it. American English. The cool thing about Debian is it's really a simple system to run. That's why I like it. It has sane defaults, no weird trying to reverse engineer SSH, no weirdly corrupted Docker container stuff. Like if you just grab things from the repo, it's solid. And anymore, it's pretty modern. Hostname, I'm going to call this Deb server. All right. Root password. Skip the root password. User, that's me. Password. I'm just going to use a really simple password because this is only ever going to be on my virtual network. It's never going to be accessible to the naked web. Hardwired for life, my friends. Hardwired for life. And yeah, we're just going to install the pieces we need, setting up the partitioner. Pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use the entire disk. All my files in one thing because it's a really small demo. Right, change the disk, yes. If you notice, I've been doing this for a few years. It's kind of got everything in there. I recommend if you get a little turnaround, watch this maybe at half speed, maybe pause and rewind the pieces you need to look at. It might make it easier. So it's installing the base program. Now this is the program. I think this is the part of the program that is on the ISO image we're booting from. So you can do all this without internet. I don't recommend it, but I believe you can get a really, really, really bare bones system running with just the net installer. I think it's missing like some serious stuff though. So we're gonna find out now what happens after we get the base system up and running, and we're gonna go all the way up to an Immich server. Immich is good because it's a very simple Docker containers, and I like that part. Yep. All right, no extra packages. We are in the United States. I'm going with the default. We don't need a proxy. Configuring apt. I don't know what magical stuff happens at this point, but I love it. You'll probably love it too. Now on an actual machine, you want to have some kind of storage connected to that. And you could do a pass through on this. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but you can totally do that. This part will be either slower or faster depending on your internet. Right now, my entire family's home and they're all doing internet things, which is fun, but it does sometimes cause all my shit to slow down. Plus, I feel like all the neighbors are home. Maybe that's what it is. Seems like in the evening, the internet gets a lot slower than midday. I work from home. Thank goodness it's like usually pretty snappy most of the day during the work day. But when I'm doing stuff like this, it can really slow down. Okay, we're about to get to the image, the package selector, the layout. Yeah, sure. So instead of installing Kubuntu or Xbuntu or all those different variant desktops, the Debian, the net installer lets you just grab those packages as you want. But because of we're doing the server here, I'm going to get rid of Debian desktop environment or GNOME, but I am going to enable SSH, and we're going to go to the next stage, and hopefully it'll install pretty quickly. And I should have a good user account that I can SSH into. Okay, we're installing the bootloader. Yes, we want to install the bootloader to the only hard drive we have in this virtual machine. Finishing installation and setting up my account, my Sudo package. We're basically at the home stretch, and soon we'll be able to hopefully pretty soon just SSH from whatever tool we have, which I'm using unironically the GNOME desktop for Debian as the host, so we'll be using GNOME terminal. All right, reboot time, baby, and back in business. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of, well, first I'm gonna log in. Excellent. I'm gonna type in IP adder, and if we look, there's our IP address. 192.168.122.92. So I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to close that. Bring our, that was a sneeze that never came. All right, let's make this terminal a little bigger so you can see it. And we're going to go ahead and SSH, that same username, but art at 192.168.122.92. Yep, and password. Okay. Uptime 1 minute. Now, the cool thing about this virtual machine is you can just kind of close this. It's still running here at my dock, but you don't need that part running. You can actually have that load quiet and headless right now. So let's get some tools here. Sudo apt install vim, fast fetch for fun, docker.io, and docker compose. Oh, I spelled that right. Looks like we have a winner. I'm going to grab some documentation notes and put them over here. First things first, after this going, is we want to be able to log in Docker without sudo. Okay, so we got that ready to go. Real simple guide. We are getting there. Okay, so we got to do one thing really quick, and that's sudo user mod ag docker, which is the new group we just made. $user, but you could also just do your name. And now we're gonna go sudo reboot real quick. Give this a few seconds to let us reconnect. We can spy on it. Oh yeah, that's already up. It's fast because it's a virtual machine. And cool. So now we are in the Docker user group, and I'm actually going to be consulting the Immich documentation because Immich is a nice gallery app that I like using. And we're going to use their documentation and their YAML file and whatnot to do it. So if you look at the folder, there's nothing in the folder. So we're going to make a directory and we're going to call it Immich. Go into Immich. And then we want to wget the Docker compose file. It's in there. And wget their environment file. LSA. Now we have a Docker compose, YAML, and the environment file. I know you're thinking like, there's no way we could be done, right? I'm just going to take a peek at the Docker container so we can see what kind of stuff they got. Now this was made by the Immich team, so it's all ready to go. The only thing you got to keep an eye on is what ports you want exposed. And I believe it's the first one is the one you want broadcast, but don't quote me on that. And I'm just going to leave everything else not everything else. I'm going to leave the entire Docker container untouched. And I'm going to go Docker, Docker pose up D. That's Docker. It's going to launch the Docker container using the compose guide. It's going to tell it to turn the server up, and then it's going to detach this terminal once it's running. This is basically it, my friend. We are done. We made a Docker server in a virtual machine that will serve Docker apps for us. And the nice thing about this, you can run it in a QEMU. You can even build and deploy QEMU headless if you're fancy. I'm not fancy like that yet. I mean, you could build it here and then move it to a different machine and run it there because it's Docker, it's a virtual machine. You just need that virtual machine file. Maybe if I have a chance to figure out how to do that, I will show you how to do that after I learn. This is the point in the project where you could get up, go make yourself a thing instead of just sitting here like I'm doing right now, watching the screen because my internet's slow. But also I'm making a video, so I want to make sure I'm paying attention when it goes to the next stage, All right, my little goobers, it's up and running. You know what that means, right? Come back here, get a peek at our IP address again. There we go. Our IP address is hiding from me. It's plain sight here. Plain sight. There we go. 192, all that. I'm going to grab a browser tab over here, and I think it's port 2283. And there it is. Running on my virtual machine, getting started. So let's do fake at email, Password's going to be hello because I'm never going to leave my own network. My name's Art. So let's go fake at email and hello. Cool, cool, cool. Theme. We want dark theme. I want it to be English. This is a little annoying bug. I don't know what that causes. This is a Firefox bug, by the way, not an Immich bug. Google Cast. No, I don't really care. Backups. No, we'll do that later. Mobile apps. I am aware they exist. Yes, done. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab that URL right there, close that. The cool thing is we can exit out of here and we can just new window, go right back in it. And this is Immich, and it's running just like it would be on my local network, but it's in the virtual machine right here, server. And you can actually have your virtual machine launch when you log into it. Add an image to it. We got that image there. Sweet, sweet. Let's grab another fun image. Here's my face. Let's see. How's it handle animated GIFs? Oh, it handles animated GIFs like a boss. You hover over and it starts playing. That's kind of cool. That's actually quite cool. There we go. Cannibal tacos. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So you can use it just like in the other web app. You can do this with Immich. With, I guess, on a virtual machine, if you have very limited space, it may not be the best option. But you can do something like Nextcloud, where it's all just going to be documents, and that would work too. So it's pretty nifty, I think. Well, I did it. I got Nextcloud installed, as you can see, and yeah, I'm able to I can edit this document. Save. Close that. Open back up. Oh, yeah. That's weird. It didn't do the title. Oh, that's why. There it goes. I can edit. User error. But yeah, Nextcloud. Very tiny if it's just documents. You don't have to have photos. You can have photos, but Immich does a better job with photos than this one. Having said that, that's a rad photo. That's a rad photo.